We have the Vevor medium cat wheel for cats 7 to 13 pounds. Here's the box contents laid out. In addition to all the pieces, it came with an assortment of hardware. What really gets me out of the box is the wood is very pretty. I know that is not important, but it is. So I have both sides of the base, and I have them laid out so the cutouts are on top. So these pieces are going to fit into the cutouts. First we have the side. We have the plank with the rollers, plank with the wheels, plank with the wheels, plank with the rollers, and then another side. Note this side at the end on the right has the little hole. So I have one piece of the base. I'm going to take the side piece without the hole, sort of keyed on the end, and there's two holes that line up with the groove right here. So I'm going to get these screws started. It's the ones with the tapered point. Look into the holes, make sure they line up. I'm not going to tighten them. I'm just going to get them started. Maybe about halfway. Very nice screwdriver. It actually has a magnetic tip. And now next is the piece with the rollers. You want the rollers face up, and we're going to use one of the L tapered screws. Put this in the slot. Next is a piece with wheels. Same thing. A tapered L screw. Put it in the slot. There's the hole right there. So we have half of one side done. We're going to do the same thing on this side. Doesn't matter what order, but the wheel goes on the inside, the roller on the outside, and then the side wall. And you just use the screws. So starting from the outside on each, we have sidewall, the plank with the rollers, and the plank with the wheels. And there should be 4 screws, 2 for the sidewall, 1 for each of the other planks on both sides. Now, I'm going to put the other side of the base on and screw it in. I have it fully assembled. I'm going to go back and just make sure all the screws are tight on both sides. And our base is done. Now we're going to assemble 3 arcs. See, they're separate, 1, 2, 3. Each section of the arc has 5 boards with 1 connecting hole. One of the arcs has a center slat that has a rectangular hole in it. To connect the arcs, find these 3 pieces here that have 2 holes, and we're just going to put them together here. And now I've outlined the other 2 arcs, and you see they do not have the center piece with the rectangle. Only the first arc does. And these 3 pieces with the 2 holes are going to be our connector piece. And our 3rd connector piece. Since I'm doing this solo, I have used blue tape to help keep these lined up. And then that's going to help me put this cap on and get it in place without everything falling down. So wiggle each piece until it's firmly seated and ensure the hole lines up. And I'm just doing it hand tight, just like before. And then once I'm done, I'll go back and tighten them all. Since this is a lot of screws, I'm going to use my power screwdriver, but I'm not going to go all the way down. I'm just going to have it do the bulk of the work. Stop it before it gets to the end. I'll hand tighten it the rest of the way. Just don't want to risk warping it. I have all 3 tops on. I have double checked that all the tongues are fully in the grooves, and I went back and tightened all the screws. Now I have to do my best to flip this over and screw the other side on. And now again, I just have to put the many screws on And there's my completed base and my completed wheel. Find these pieces. They're labeled G on the components list. And what they're going to do is reinforce where we connected the arcs. We're going to put a piece here and a piece on the other side. And then for each, you're going to use 4 of these. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. And we have to do it in all 3 places where the arc pieces join together. So these screws go in pretty easily. It is easier to do the top and the bottom ones and then go back and do the middle. And now I have 2 more sets to do. So all my little G pieces are connected. Make sure you completely assemble the wheel before you throw away the box, because these pieces were sort of hidden in all the bubble wrap. So on the side of the base that has this little hole here, we're going to connect pieces H and N. And these 2 pieces were also sort of hidden in the bubble wrap. So like I said, don't throw anything away until you're done. This is to lock it. I guess you can push this up and tighten it, and that would lock the wheel so it can't be moved. Take a look at this. This is our roll of Velcro that's sticky on one side. It's going to have to go on both sides of the inner wheel, and then 1 piece across the center. And that's going to keep our carpet roll on. It says to wipe the rollers clean first. I'm not sure what that means. I have a clean soft cotton rag. I'm just going to go over everywhere where the tape will be. I'm also just going to go over the rollers and the wheels just to make sure there's no residue anywhere. So I'm peeling the backing off a couple feet at a time and sticking it. I'm finishing up one side. I'm just going to cut it, complete the circle. Now I'm going to do the other side. I've done both sides, and go all the way around and push down, make sure everything's stuck really good on both sides. And now I'm going to put 2 pieces. I'm not going to overlap them. I don't want to bump. One on this side. And toward the end of the roll, the tape gets a little wonky. So you have to push it down if there's any curls in it. It's very sticky. My carpet's all Velcroed on. Just go around and make sure it's adhered real good. And I do have just a tiny smidge overlap, but it looks very nice. And now the wheel just sits on the base. And it rolls very smoothly. To lock the wheel, loosen the screw holding the fishtail and move it up into the rectangular cutout and tighten it. And now it's locked. To unlock it, just loosen this back up, let it fall down, and retighten it. Okay, I have several of the L screws left, a few of the K screws left. I see no reference in the instructions to wall legs, so I don't think they're meant for this item. Tiny bit of Velcro left, and I did not need the sandpaper or gloves. I guess if your edges of the wood seem sharp, gently sand them down. And here's our finished product. This is our first trip on the wheel. I'm shocked how quickly I got him to use it. He has a lot of energy, so we're hoping he gets used to the wheel and takes out his zoomy aggression on the wheel. So this is a beautiful wheel. It's nice and sturdy, pretty quiet. So I hope this is helpful. Thank you.